disparity. Ngunit alam naman natin, that doesn't really matter. In this setting right now, either team has a chance to get this victory tonight. Junmar Fajardo, unang play sa offensive nitong Petron Blaze Boosters, is able to draw a foul. And this guy, Junmar Fajardo, ito foul kay Meyerhofer yan. Fajardo playing a very solid conference so far, Dom.
Well, he's definitely been able to adjust dito sa opensa ng Petron, averaging 9.3 points. And the beauty of Junmar Fajardo, he's not just doing it also on offense, pati dun sa depensa. Alam mo kung gaano kalaking bagay yung alam mo pag nalusutan ka, merong isang malaki who will help you out on defense and try to change a shot or even block that shot of that opponent of yours.
Aside from the 9.3 points na binanggit mo, ang average ni Junmar Fajardo, he's also averaging 8.6 rebounds saka 1.9 blocks. So halos 2 block yan every game, as well as all those other shots na na-alter niya pag sumasaksak na yung mga kalaban. Meyerhofer, nice feed inside. He gets the first 2 points para sa Barangay Ginebra. 2-1. Ating early score. Ito si Tubid, who used to play for the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings together with Mark Tagiwa. Santos' jumper mula sa kaliwa. Bounces over the board and hits the support. Kaya babalik na ang bola sa Barangay Ginebra.
One of the things that Petron will have to watch out for is, they're on an 11-day break. They need to be able to come out and really stretch their muscles. Expect them to struggle in the first few minutes. Great if they don't. Pag ikaw naman ang Barangay Ginebra, you want to be able to start out strong. And Eli Tenorio with that move of his, using his quickness and then finding Meyerhofer for the easy 2.
Ito naman si Meyerhofer's outside shot. Hindi pumasok. Elijah Millsap, ang very reliable import ng Petron. Kicks it to the side. Tubid trying to challenge the defense. A scoop pass to Junmar. Strong move by the big man.
What a pass by Ronald Tubid, going all the way to the gut of the defense and finally giving it up to the big man.
Tenorio gets knocked. Saves the ball to Ellis. Si Chris Ellis, Air Force Ed if they call him, also contributed dun sa victory nila against the Tropang Texters. A career high both in rebounds and points. 19 and 12. Ang ganda na pinakita niya para kay Coach Ato Agustin.
Barangay Ginebra, they rely heavily on the 3 kings. That's Kagiwa, Tenorio, and Lohorn. But then all of a sudden, Chris Ellis coming up with that big game. That's why they're able to pull through against Stock and Text.
Fade away ni Mark Kagiwa over the big man Fajardo. He gets that first basket of the ball game para sa kanya. 4-3 ang ating score, lamang na ang Barangay.
May halong gigil din itong si Mark Kagiwa. For those people watching, you gotta remember, Mark Kagiwa did foul out with 2 minutes to go in that ball game.
Doon nga nagsabi si Eli Tenorio na, don't worry pare, ako nang bahala, di ba? Actually, he characterized himself as mayabang nung sinabi niya yon. But it's something that his teammates have come to expect from him. He has to take over when Mark Kagiwa goes out. Ginawa na niya yon nung last conference, nung may-injure si Kagiwa.
And I like what Asi Taulava said. That LA is really the one keeping this team together because of his stellar play. He knows when to step back and give up the ball to guys like Mark Kagiwa and Dior Lohorn, but he also knows when he's supposed to take over.
Offensive rebound, Meyerhofer. Passes to the driving Lohorn on the way up. Natamaan si Dior. Pupunta na naman siya sa linya para sa 2 free throws. And this guy, Dior Lohorn, partner, not a flashy import, a guy who likes to post up, use his bulk inside. You may not know it, but he averages 30 points a ball game, more than this guy Elijah Millsap, who's being talked about by the people as one of the best imports dito sa ating kompetensiya.
Well, very different how they play for each other's teams. Though yung numbers sila medyo malapit. Elijah Millsap, has a lot more options to go to. Unlike Dior Lohorn, talagang exclusively nung simula sa loob, but slowly but surely he's been able to extend out that shots, especially against Stock and Text. He had a number of those outside shots, so gumaganda din yung conditioning at yung laro ni Lohorn.
Millsap on the drive, first attempt at the basket. He draw off the foul, pumunta naman sa linya itong si Elijah Millsap na nakasuot ng green shoes sa araw na ito. And another matchup we really like to watch. So we'll be talking about LA Tenorio. Ang nakabantay naman sa kanya, parehong numero nila sa kanilang uniform, it's Alex Cabagnot. Yan din naman kung si LA nagpapatakbo ng opensa rito ng white shirts, Cabagnot does the same thing on the other end, and he's also called a crunch time player. Itong si Cabagnot in case it's a close game.
A number of times for Petron, he has bailed them out with those shots. In one conference, parang meron siyang atang 4 o 5 sunod-sunod na bailout shots for Petron.
Tenorio called that play. Parang yung laban sign yung inakit niya, letter L. They wanted to go down to Lohorn. It was import versus import. At si Elijah Millsap natawagan na kanyang unang personal. Two team fouls para sa Petron Blaze. Inbound goes to Chris Ellis. They want to go down to Lowhorn. Ito na yung post up. Kick out to Ellis. Drives in. Stops from 10. Jumper niya, wala yan. Good inside position mula kay Millsap for that rebound. Millsap on the move. He spins and kicks it out to Kabagnot in rhythm. The three. Wala yan. Mark Kagiwa looking to attack. Nice pass inside to Lowhorn. He lost the ball, got it back. Second try, wala. And Kabagnot rips it away.
Miscommunication that time between Meyerhofer and Lowhorn.
Kabagnot sets from 3 once again. He missed a while ago, but he wouldn't miss on this second try.
Took a little bit longer taking that second 3-point shot. Sinigurado.
Natansya na niya dun sa una Ito si Tenorio. They go to Lowhorn once again. There's a triple team. Somebody's open. Ellis on the drive off the glass.
That's just pure athleticism for Chris Ellis.
Taas ng lipad no? Tapos si Chris Ellis obviously mataas ang kanyang kumpiyansa sapagkat ang ganda ng laro niya against Talk and Text to eliminate the usual playoff participant yung Talk and Text. It's kind of weird to be dito sa second round o sa playoff round natin na wala ang tropang Texters. Constant sila for the past how many conferences, pero ngayon na nga nawala sila dahil nga sa magandang laro ng Barangay Ginebra. Ito ang Petron, they're up by 3, gusto nilang tagtagan yung lamang. Millsap against Kagiwa, he spins. Good defense from Mark Kagiwa, forcing the pass to Kabagnot, who gets that ball to roll in. And it's a 5-point lead para sa Petron Blaze Boosters. 13-8 ang ating score at the set.
Mula sa Mall of Asia Arena, welcome back to the PBA. Panigurado ni Coach G. Abanilla sa 11 araw na nag-aantay sila sa kung sino makakalaban e nabalanse naman daw nila ang pagpapahinga at ang paghahanda. Hindi sila kinakalawang. They had quality practices in preparation for the quarterfinals. They're staying to be optimistic. Ang sabi nga nila, wala silang twice to beat advantage. Yan ang kanilang mindset. Ang pwedeng gawin ngayon hindi na daw nila ipagpapagbukas pa. Samantala para sa Barangay Ginebra, this is deja vu. They have been in the same situation last conference kung saan they had to beat rain or shine twice, and they did. Kaya ang sabi ni Coach Otto Agustin, walang imposible. If there's anything that the do-or-die games has done good for them, iyan daw ang ilabas ang pinakamagagaling sa kanilang mga manlalaro. Balik sa inyo, Charlie and Dom.
Maraming salamat, Riza. Riza Diaz, the third person on this coverage tonight at courtside. At well, tama naman yung sinabi ng Petron. You just gotta keep working at it. Kung di ka nakakalaro, you find time to rest and balance it. And they came out pretty well early dito sa ating laro. But Barangay trying to come back. Tumira ng 3 si LA. No go. Fajardo with a rebound. And Millsap, dribbling violation. Kitang-kita natin yon, stifling him. Ito si LA Tenorio. Right at that center line part na he stepped backwards.
Barangay Ginebra in the first few minutes of this first quarter already with 5 assists, so moving that basketball well. And 5 different guys have scored for Barangay Ginebra. For Petron naman, leading scorer itong si Alex Kabagnot with 8.
Alam mo itong twice to beat disadvantage, twice to win na kailangan gawin ng Barangay Ginebra. In the past, they've been there 10 times, partner. They forced a game to 5 of those 10 times and went on to actually win it 3 of those 10 times. So may history na nga itong Barangay Ginebra. It's a pretty good percentage considering you have a twice to beat task to accomplish. They've done it 3 times and forced the game to 5 times out of 10. So, medyo may experience na itong Barangay Ginebra sa ganitong sitwasyon.
Well, they're very comfortable in these types of situations, itong Barangay Ginebra. You know, a lot of it also has to do with the big heart that they show. At yung fans, nakakatulong yan when you have a disadvantage like that. Because what you do is, you know, you want to just keep the game close and then be able to steal it in the end.
Nabanggit mo yung fans na yan. Alam naman natin, tinatawag na 6th man ang Barangay Ginebra fans when they start chanting. In fact, kanina sa Twitter, may nabasa nga ako, isang taga-Petroniverse na nagsasabi, you know, egging on all the Petron fans to come over tonight and try to match yung ganyang epekto ng fans ng Barangay Ginebra. So there is a big crowd tonight cheering for Petron as well. As Lowhorn is inside on the way up, natamaan na naman. It looks like Elijah Millsap reached in.
That's a second personal foul. for Millsap. Caught reaching in.
So 2 free throws para kay Dior Lohorn, who got a lot of flack early, partner. As the import of Barangay Ginebra, there was talk na makapalitan siya when he would be one of the casualties early on, but they've stuck with him, and here they are in the quarterfinal round.
Well, one thing about Dior Lohorn, he's been very consistent both on points and pagdating dun sa kanyang rebounding. That inside presence that they're looking for na ibibigay nitong si Dior Lohorn.
Gets those 2 free throws. Buwasa 4 ang lamang ng Petron, 15-11. Kabagnot, Tenorio pa rin ang matchup at the point. Kabagnot goes to Arwin Santos, jumper. Ganda ng interference mula sa depensa ng Barangay Ginebra on that play. Ito na, Barangay gusto makalapit. Tenorio wanted to kick it to Lohorn, but Kabagnot anticipated up ahead to Arwin Santos. Wanted to pass it to Millsap. Ang ganda naman ng depensa ni Chris Ellis. What an effort to run down and stop that fast break.
When you talk about the effort, Chris Ellis was able to stop that fast break. Now he has all 5 guys to be able to help him out on defense.
That's a Millsap. Kicks to Kramer. Kramer have that outside shot and he hits it from the top of the key. Doug Kramer found a home here sa Petron. They've been using him for that task to get rebounds, but occasionally, nakakashoot din yan.
Doug Kramer has fit in perfectly to the sistema ni Coach G. Abanilla. Because hindi siya nangaagaw ng tira. He's there playing defense on the import, getting those rebounds, nakikipagpalitan ng katawan, and just working so hard and getting rewarded by the minutes.
Pero doon nakakuha ng konting espasyo itong si Dior Lohorn to hit that jumper to bring his team back within 4. Very physical matchup. Nakikita natin yung Kramer-Lohorn na yan. So we'll watch that as this game goes on. Shot clock did not reset. Hindi tumama sa ring yung tira. Lassiter. Jumper from the right side is too strong. Kramer fighting for it, pero tapik palabas ni Doug. Ball will go back to the Gin Kings.
Slowly pinapasok na ni Coach G. Abanilla ang kanyang bench. And this is the strength of Petron. You know, they have a lot of guys, you know, who can play multiple positions plus of equal ability.
Tama yun. At nandyan na naman yung combination ng Lassiter together again. Starting out with the Gilas team. Tapos ayun, dito na sila sa Petron magkasama. Millsap kicks it out. And Doug Kramer travels. Lost his footing on that play. Ito si Millsap. Nakikita mo, Doms, every time he tries to drive, grabe yung challenge na ginagawa ng Ginebra, forcing him to pass that ball away and look for someone else to score it.
You gotta credit the coaching staff of Barangay Ginebra. Dun sa ginawa nila against Tokentex, ginulat nila with that zone defense na gulo yung nadiskarel yung opensa nitong Tokentex sa simula pa lang. And then in the end game, Barangay Ginebra was able to knock down those all-important shots led by LA Tenorio.
Tenorio, nasa lane. Bounce back to Lohorn. Goes up strong. Gets another 2 inside. Nakakuha pa ng foul. So pupunta siya sa linya para sa isang bonus free throw. And you don't want this guy to get the ball that deep under the basket, Doms.
Well, he's really strong. It's very difficult to stop him down low. You know, going back to my point about crediting the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings coaching staff, they've also realized how effective Dior Lohorn can be. So they're setting him up in positions, in spots that he's comfortable with.
At dahil dun sa 3-point play, isa na lang ang lamang ng Petron. At the 3:44 mark ng ating first quarter, Lassiter gusto makalibre. Steps in, kicks it out to Lutz. Jumper is long. The bounce goes to Tenorio. They're speeding this ball game up, pero nakababa ang depensa ng Petron. Tenorio in the lane. The short shot, wala yan. Lohorn follows it up inside, pero may foul na napinituan itong referee natin at the baseline.
Mukhang napaganda pa yon. Natawagan ng foul itong si Chris Lutz. Because that would have been an easy tip in for Lohorn.
Nagpalit ng tao itong si Coach Gia Banilla. Alex Cabagnot goes out and the Chico Lanete, the veteran point guard, is there to back him up. Kagiwa driving in the lane. Off-balance shot. He gets a foul. He'll go to the line para sa dalawang free throws.
One of the things that also happened to Petron, Charlie, ang nabalitaan ko, nagkasakit din yung ibang mga player dito sa Petron. But luckily for them, meron silang 11-day break. So yun nga, nagkahawaan, pero ang kagandahan din naman, natapos din yung bug that was going around in the Petron Blaze Boosters team.
Enough time to recuperate, yung 11 days na break na yun para sa kanila. Well, hindi nga break kasi nga nag-practice nga sila ng husto yung panahon na yun, gaya ng kunento ni Riza kanina. Kagiwa hits the 2 free throws, giving the lead to his team, 18-17, 3:18 sa ating first quarter. Back to the action here at the Mall of Asia Arena. Nasa Petron ang ball. The pass inside to Doug Kramer goes up. Good defense from behind. Itong si Mark Kagiwa. Pero meron daw foul, sabi ng ating baseline referee. And si Doug will go to the line for 2 free throws. And well, they lost the lead dun sa huling possession. Doms on the free throws of Kagiwa. Gusto bawiin ngayon ni Doug.
Doug Kramer, you talk about intensity. Usually when you talk about Doug, he's solid. He's a good defensive player, but the intensity that he brings, not just during games, but even in practice, from what I've heard dun sa mga kakampi niya, ibang klase. That's a good thing because he makes you work even in practice.
Grabe talaga yan. This guy works for positioning underneath. Alam natin, undersized siya. At his position, he plays sometimes center, power forward. A lot of guys bigger than he is and heavier than he is, pero he holds his own. Tenorio, they left it open from 3. Wala yan. Lowhorn gets it and goes up for the putback. Strong move mula kay Dior Lowhorn.
Doug Kramer was trying to box him out, but Dior Lowhorn just so big and strong, able to take away that position from Kramer.
Double digits na si Lowhorn dito sa ating first quarter. 10 points na para sa kanya. Lassiter driving to the basket. He goes up. Too strong on that lay-in. Ito si Air Force Ellis. He's got some ball handling skills. Nakita naman natin and he won the skills challenge, or he played really well kung ginawa niya yun. Ito si Lowhorn. The kick over to Lassiter. Lassiter running. He'll challenge. Kick it out to Lutz. Nag-gun-size si Lutz sa tira niya, but Panete says he'll take it. Wala yan. Tenorio didn't see Millsap coming from the weak side. Pasa pa loob kay Doug Kramer. Minadali ang hook shot.
Even if they're missing, that ball movement for Petron is just tremendous.
Ito na naman ang Barangay Ginebra. Up by 1. The hook pass to Lowhorn. Nabakan na naman ng Petron Blaze, and Lanetes throws in for that easy layup to give his team the lead back 21-20, a minute and a half remaining.
Not a good sign that off that turnover, nobody from Barangay Ginebra even attempted to stop that fast break ng Petron.
So dalawang beses na parte na pick off yung hook pass na ginagawa nito si Mark Kagiwa. So na-anticipate na ng Petron yan. Ellis, gustong labanan nito si Chris Lutz. 5-second shot clock, the back inside to Lowhorn. Merong foul. That's gonna be a side court. Free throws yan. Penalty na itong Petron Blaze. Penalty situation. So si Lowhorn, alam na niya. Nakatayo na siya dun sa linya. And he'll get 2 more free throws. And Lowhorn, early in this ball game, Doms, in-establish na niya yung kanyang pwesto dyan sa ilalim. He told everybody, I'm gonna work down low. So you gotta try to stop me here.
Well, definitely, he's been working hard down low. The key also for Barangay Ginebra, you look at Dior Lowhorn, hindi pa nagpapahinga yan this first quarter. It'll be key also how they will pace itong si Dior Lowhorn.
12 points, 4 rebounds na para kay Lowhorn. 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining here in the first quarter of this quarterfinal matchup between the first and 8th seeds. Kramer, hook shot, going away from the basket. Offline yung tira. JJ Hildebrand handling, making the 3, going down to Lowhorn once again. He takes the jumper, it's short. Rebound. Millsap na pumulot. Millsap sees an opening, goes all the way in. Nakadraw pa ng foul kontra kay Willie Wilson. So a chance for a 3-point play.
When Barangay Ginebra eventually caught up, ang nangyari dito sa Petron Blaze Boosters, they weren't attacking the basket on the fast break. They were settling for the outside shots. At ang nagiging problema, they weren't knocking them down.
Inumpleto ni Paul Millsap ang kanyang 3-point opportunity. Balik sa kalamangan itong Petron. Dalawa, 24-22. Lowhorn. Yun yung pagbangga niya rito kay Doug Kramer. Natawagan ng foul itong si Doug Kramer. And he's showing the referee, I was just standing my ground. Pangatlong personal na ni Doug Kramer. So that's a development. He's one of those guys who can at least put up some resistance kontra kay Dior Lohorn.
And in that first game against Barangay Ginebra, Doug Kramer played splendid basketball, 17 points. He was judged best player of that ball game.
So, pinasok na muli ni Gia Banilla itong si Junmar Fajardo, who started off strong in this game. Scoring 3 early points. Mintis ang free throw ni Lohorn. Isa lang ang laman ng Petron. 2-second differential game clock sa shot clock. So halos last second shot time na para sa Petron. Elijah Millsap with the ball. He makes his move. Loses the ball on the way up. Barakael receives. Help the brother. Got number. They go to Tenorio. Who'll challenge the defense. And draw a foul. Chris Lutz ayaw maniwala na natawagan siya ng foul, but our referee calls that. That's referee Peter Balao. So dalawang free throws para kay Tiniente. Yung iba, tinatawag na siyang general ngayon. Ano ba talagang ranko nitong si LA Tenorio?
Parang mas apt yung general eh.
Ang general.
Oo, siya na talagang may dala dito sa Barangay Ginebra.
It's the first to tie it up. 3.1 seconds ang nalalabi dito sa ating first quarter. It's been quite fast-paced. The first 12 minutes of action. Fajardo, Tulanete, he looks up at the clock, kicks it over to Lutz. He takes the jumper. That doesn't go after the first 12 minutes ng ating laro. Nakalamang na ang Barangay Ginebra, 25-24. They were down early.
Free throws nitong Petron Blaze, they were able to get down low, get fouled, and move that basketball as well. They had 8 assists in that second quarter. They really punished Barangay Ginebra 34-17 in that second quarter.
Let's hear from Risa Diaz kung anong nakuha niyang kwento mula dyan sa mga dugout ng halftime.
Charlie, muna sa Petron, ang philosophy is stop and share. Magsisimula nga daw lahat sa depensa. They have to give that extra effort. They have to sacrifice and make stops. When they do and the ball is in their hands, abay doon naman kailangan daw mag-share. Everybody get the touch of the ball para mas maganda ang kanilang opensa. Ang warning ng Coach G, we have to weather the storm. They're expecting Barangay Ginebra to come out really strong, lalong-lalo na kapag pinagsasabay nga LA Tenorio at si Josh Orbistondo. Samantala sa panig ng Barangay Ginebra, aba hindi na napigilan ni Coach Al Francis Chua ang kanyang damdamin. At sinabi niya talaga sa kanyang mga manlalaro, yung tinatamad, pwede nang umuwi. Nagkakahawahan daw kasi. At ang kailangan nilang gawin come second half, they just have to bring that energy and they should be fine. Charlie?
Well, sa dalawang first offensives nitong Barangay Ginebra, they got nothing. And Junmar Fajardo got 1 basket already para sa Petron Blaze. Loose ball. Scuffle for the ball, and Tubid and Barakael. You can see some color developing between these two players. The ball stays with the blue shirts.
Coach G Abanilla opting to start again with Ronald Tubid. He does not want the energy to go down because he expects Barangay Ginebra to come out blazing dito sa ating third quarter. He's telling them, you know, there will be a storm. We have to weather it. That's why they have to keep that energy up there. Coach Al Francis naman sinasabi, yung tinatamad pwede nang umuwi because, you know, one of the things that is so easy to spread more than sickness, yung tinatamad kasi bumabagal na. Oo. And you know, one thing for Barangay Ginebra, they are down now without Mark Nagiwa. The level, somebody will have to step up, hit a couple of big shots just to get the crowd going, to get the entire Barangay Ginebra going.
Well, ikaw na rin nakapuna kanina, Dom, ng first half. There were 2 plays na nakaagaw itong Petron Blaze. And the player who stole the ball just waltzed all the way to the basket for an easy 2. Wala man lang humahabol na white shirt. So yun siguro ang tinutukoy ni Coach Al Francis Chua sa mga boys niya nung halftime. At itong si Elijah Millsap continues, partner, not to force any outside shots. He keeps driving to the basket and drawing fouls and trying to go to the line. Ito, the pass inside. Pangalawang alley-oop pass na yan ni Millsap towards Fajardo. And Fajardo scoring here early in the third quarter, establishing that presence inside. Yun yung ginagawa ni Lohorn kanina. Ngayon, Fajardo naman on this side.
Elijah Millsap with that 8 assists. You know, you talk about an import that also thinks team. Elijah Millsap, a classic example of that.
Ellis was out of control. He was able to pass it to Tenorio. The lob doesn't go. And to si Tubid snares that rebound. Kabagnot looking ahead. Pinasa rito kay Arwin. Jam!
Barangay Ginebra is not careful. Petron Blaze will break this game even more wide open.
21 na lamang ng Petron. 9:28 remaining in the third quarter. Urbistondo, hirap na hirap makadaan dun sa depensa ni Cabagnot. Cabagnot is forced into a foul on that sideline. Meyerhofer pinasok. Ito yung a while ago. Santos for the jam. That's a Photon Thunder drive brought to you by Photon. Empower your business. Tenorio. Tight defense from Tubid. Nakabanggaan yung dalawang mama. And Tubid is called for the personal.
Petron Blaze, we have 9 minutes and 19 left dito sa ating third quarter. So basically, wala pang 3 minuto. 3 na ang assist ng Petron.
They're sharing the ball. Kung kaya naman ang ganda ng mga resulta. What a drive! Mula rito kay LA Tenorio. Naging pamilya rin tayo sa mga drive na ganyan, especially nung FIBA Asia Championships. Driving against bigger guys.
Maliliit yung kalaban niya ngayon. Kung kukumpara mo sa FIBA Asia, LA Tenorio really carrying even the Gilas Pilipinas team.
Kung yung mga katulad ni Haddad ay dinadrivean nila ni Jason.
Sanay na sila dyan.
Pero sumagot naman agad ang blue shirts, partner. And that's the thing na kailangan pigilin. Sabi nga ni Riza kanina, ang report was to stop. Diba? Stop first on one end before sharing on the other end. Barangay's jumper from outside. It's short. Rebound. Fajardo up ahead of the pack was Arwin Santos. Hindi nakita ni Junmar.
Almost another fast break for the Petron Blaze Boosters.
Pero Millsap has been a stabilizer in this game. Wala yung tira niya, but who's there to pick it up and put it back in? Junmar Fajardo. 17 puntos na si Junmar sa larong ito. 47 points lang para sa Ginebra. Meyerhofer, he'll get a chance para sa 3-point play, but Junmar Fajardo is the story so far dito sa ating third quarter.
Well, aside from Junmar Fajardo, you have to credit the entire Petron Blaze Boosters. One of the things that was mentioned in the Sports 5 Center, and we mentioned it too, baka nangangalawang itong Petron Blaze Boosters. Yes, nakita natin there were signs dun sa opensa, but the defense, spot on.
Ito nga nangyari doon. Although nga naghang around sa first quarter itong Barangay Ginebra, and things went a bit sour nung second quarter. Right now, 25-point lead, and the pass inside was off target, pero may bailout doon because Fajardo was holding Dior Lohorn and he's called for a foul.
That's the 4th personal foul of Junmar Fajardo.
At alam natin, di ba kanina, si Kramer nakatatlong foul agad, tapos si Fajardo had 3 as well. So that's his 4th foul, Fajardo, and we see Kramer at the officials' table to check in. Lohorn, they're giving him a hard time, but he still hits that basket. And it's been a long time since Dior Lohorn was able to extricate and score a basket inside.
Well, now they're going to him exclusively down low. Kung kanina, they were setting him up off those plays or off those pick and rolls. So let's see how effective it will be against the bigger Petron Blaze.
Natabik ang bola. Meyerhofer, those long arms. But he punched the ball. Sabi ng ating referee, that's a violation. You can't use your fist to hit that ball. So ball will stay dito sa Petron Blaze as Fajardo will rest. Pasok na si Doug Kramer.
For the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings, they need to give themselves something to cheer about, meaning a big play, a couple of plays, impact plays.
Doug Kramer in the lane, drops it over to Arwin Santos. The short jumper bounces several times bago pumasok. Sino? Yan ang tanong eh. Sino para kay Coach Ato Agustin ang magdadala rito sa second half? Try to get some points on the board. LA Tenorio, grabe yung bantay sa kanya.
Well, aside from the scoring, they'll need to also fix it up on defense.
That's short. Tenorio, pinahihirapan talaga. Ronald Tubid stepping on that sideline. The ball will go back dito sa Barangay Ginebra. Tenorio, nakikita natin yung frustration. See his reactions after that play. But they get a chance once again at the 6:50 mark dito sa ating third quarter.
We talked about Petron Blaze Boosters being a total team effort. Look at the local scoring, 55 points as compared to only 32 para sa Barangay Ginebra.
Barakael's 3. Ayan, pumasok. Yung tres ni Mac Barakael. And you know, you gotta start a long journey with a single step. Tingnan natin kung yun na yun.
Well, the next step is to be able to stop the offense of Petron.
Millsap loses the ball.
There you go.
Yun na nga. The stop was taken. It hit the back support. So ito na. Barangay Ginebra. Let's see what happens. Meyerhofer on the run. And that layup looked like a gimme pero wala yun. Let's see what Lohorn can do. Hard foul mula kay Arwin Santos. So they'll try Dior Lohorn from the free throw line once again, Doms.
Yung nangyari kanina kay Chris Lutz, nangyari rin dito kay Rico Meyer-Hoffer. Yung nagulat sila na libreng-libre sila. They couldn't decide whether to lay it up or dunk that basketball.
Pasok yung unang free throw ni Dior Lohorn. And he's been having a difficult time inside. Ito, may report si Riza Diaz tukol dito kay Dior Lohorn.
Charlie Dior has been complaining na masakit ang kanyang likod. Ang sabi ng Barangay Ginebra coaching staff, it is no excuse dahil baka wala ng bukas para makabawi pa siya. Ang sabi nga nila, this time calls for everybody to rise above any pain or any occasion. Charlie?
Well, that's true. I mean, you know, unless, kaya nga sinabi ni Coach Alfranz, kung tinatamad kayo, wag na lang kayo maglaro. Do or die nga ito eh.
The only reason for you not to play is if you're on a stretcher. Diba? Parang ganun yung ibig sabihin nitong Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings coaching staff. And that's one way to motivate your team.
You gotta suck it up in a game like this. Alam mo, there's lots of talk about yung mga naunang laro. As we see, assistant coach Todd Purvis called for a technical foul for continuous complaining sa ating mga referees. Yun na ba kahapon, nag-umpisa ang ating quarterfinal round. The first game was Meralco kontra sa Barako. And, well, Barako got left behind in the second half. Nice run in the fourth to cut it to single digits. But Meralco moved on to the semifinals. And a lot of people were saying, parang hindi do or die ang pagkalaro ng Barako sa larong yon. And, you know, itong Barangay Ginebra, right now, they're trying to turn it on. But Petron has just been overpowering.
But Barangay Ginebra wants to do what the Alaska Aces did. You know, stay alive for another day.
Tenorio for three. Short yun at nakuha ni Millsap yung rebound.
And you can feel it. Once Barangay Ginebra is given that opportunity, yung crowd nandyan eh. Kaya sila pumunta dito because they want to cheer for their team.
Millsap dishes off once again. Arwin Santos Bintis ang layup. Gets it back. Quick release. Wala. Barangay. Finally, Tenorio gets it and bounces it off Arwin Santos' leg. Smart play mula kay LA. Lohorn, he's at the post once again. The short shot bounces in. Para rito kay Dior Lohorn. And then follow up pala ni Rico Meyer-Hoffer after the ball was about to come off the rim.
In a blink of an eye, it's a 17
facial wash.
Ronald Tubid handing the ball para sa Petron Blaze. They go over to Millsap sa kaliwa. Tenorio nakabantay sa kanya. What a huge height advantage. Turnaround jumper doesn't go. Arwin Sky for that rebound. But he loses it. Nakakuha ng Barangay Ginebra. They're on a run. It was a 25-point lead para sa Petron. 17 na lang. Goal mo ng 15. LA Tenorio to the basket.
Talk about big heart. LA Tenorio now with 12 points. At dito sa ating third quarter, 8 na yan.
Millsap not trying to rush things. No panic mode para sa Petron. Kabagnot. Challenges Lohorn. Hits the side of the board. Ito na naman ang white shirts. Urbis Tondo on the run. Hinawakan na ni Kabagnot. No call. Barakael kicks it to Josh. Josh is free. Bakbakan sa rebound. Kramer saves it to Kabagnot. Millsap is running on the other end. He'll challenge the smaller defender. Offensive foul. Sabi ng ating referee. Balik sa Barangay Ginebra ang bola.
Good ploy by Barangay Ginebra on putting LA Tenorio on Elijah Millsap, because now Millsap is trying to look for his shots and he hasn't been successful.
Kaya mo yung drive a while ago. Tenorio challenging Doug Kramer. Di ba magkakampi dati yan?
Tenorio just holding his ground. Talk about a guy with a big heart and with a lot of spunk in him to go against Elijah Millsap. Millsap now with his 8th turnover.
So doing it on offense and on defense. Sacrificing his body itong si LA Tenorio. Takes that three. Pasok pa naman! LA Tenorio! They've been waiting for this guy to explode. Itong Barangay Ginebra fans in the house.
They've been wanting to cheer for Barangay Ginebra.
Nakaagaw pa si Tenorio, but he loses it right back to Arwin Santos, who falls over. The lead pass goes to Tenorio. He'll lay it in all by himself. 5 straight points clustered together, partner. 10 na lang ang lamang ng Petron.
Ganun-ganun lang, LA Tenorio. And look at him, just really giving it his all.
Petron a while ago.
Barangay Ginebra on a 17-2 run.
Alam mo, kontrolado na ng Petron. A while ago yung laro. Pero 17-2 run. It wasn't just LA Tenorio. Maraming tumulong dun sa run na yon. Millsap to Chico Lanete. He'll take a three. Pasok yan. Pamatay sunog. Para dito sa Petron Blaze. Chico Lanete hitting the three.
With that run of Barangay Ginebra, kung hindi mo nakikita yung score, kala mo 4 points na lang ilamang nitong Petron. But now still up by 13, but making some headway here in the third quarter. Very good sign for the Gin Kings.
32nd time out ang ginawag. 25-point lead ito just a while ago at 72-47. And all of a sudden, that run mula rito sa Barangay Ginebra, and it's a manageable 13-point lead, Doms. Yan ang ating mga ulalam, mahal ng masa fans of the day, mula sa masarap, malaman, mura at convenient kasi easy to open ulalam, ready to eat ulam. Para sa masa, mahal ng masa, ulalam, 15 pesos lang.
Petron forced Barangay Ginebra into turnovers in the second quarter. In the third quarter, total turnaround. And dito naman, nakaka-5 turnover ng Petron Blaze. Itong Barangay Ginebra scoring 10 points.
Puch Puyat, naka light blue na polo doon. Alam naman natin, ano yan sa bilyaran yan. Si Mr. Puch Puyat. Of course, Commissioner Attorney Chito Salud together with Willie Marshall, ang ating Media Bureau Chief dito sa PBA. Watching the action. The pass inside to Lohorn. Lohorn will challenge the defense. Block on the top from Santos, but on the second try, he gets it. And yun yung sinasabi natin, medyo nawala yung effort na yan a while ago for Barangay Ginebra. They found that fire again, Dom.
Well, they just needed somebody to start that fire, and all of a sudden, Barangay Ginebra has come to life. Though there's still 11 points, nandyan na po ang Barangay Ginebra.
Lassiter swatted away by Meyerhofer. He slips. Urbistondo tumira ng tres. Pasok!
That's the fireball. Josh Urbistondo.
Just an 8-point lead para sa Petron. A minute and 50 remaining here in the third quarter. Hirap na hirap si Chico Lanete. Millsap on the drive. He'll go up. Di na nakaangat. Hawak-hawak ni Rico Meyerhofer. So babalik sa linya si Elijah Millsap. The energy in the room has changed.
Elijah Millsap, 15 out of 15 from the free throw line. Make that 16 out of 16.
Ito naman itong dalawa nagkukonsultahan. Coach Ato, Coach Al, trying to come up with something more. Mintis ang pangalawang free throw. Pinuna mo kasi. Napansin mo pala kasi na perfect siya. Ayun. 9-point lead for Petron. A minute and 33 remaining dito sa ating third quarter. Urbistondo, hesitation move. Kick to Helterbrand. And Lanete grabbed that rebound. Itong Petron, si Doug Kramer nanguna na doon. Hindi nabigay sa kanya. Finally nabigay. He goes up full. Foul. Barakael. Doug will go to the line para sa dalawang free throws. At tagang nag-aantay si Kramer doon.
You also like the composure that the Petron Blaze Boosters are showing with this big run by the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings.
Doug hits the first free throw. Josh Urbistondo, inupo muna ni Coach Ato. Chris Ellis is in the ball game. Helterbrand as well. He hits both itong si Doug Kramer. The lead is back to double digits, 80-69. One stood at 25. Helterbrand may tangan ng bola para sa Gin Kings. Ten-second shot clock. They go to Tenorio. Down to Lohorn. Lohorn wants the challenge. The double coming from Lanete. Ellis starts to keep it alive. Lassiter picks it up. Siya nagdala ng bola up ahead to Lanete. He'll stop and pop from three. Pasok yan! Chico Lanete. 2 3-pointers in this crucial run that Ginebra was doing. Balik sa 14 ang lamang ng Petron. Tenorio. He'll take that three, wants to get it back. That's short. Rebound, Doug Kramer.
Slowly but surely, Petron Blaze restoring the order in this basketball game for themselves.
Steadying the ship. Ito si Arwin Santos, the jumper. Short yan, rebound play, tapik palabas, Dior Lohorn. Ball will stay dito sa Petron Blaze Boosters. Labas muna si Arwin Santos. Chris Lutz comes into the ball game. He'll inbound the ball para sa Petron. Nakuha ni Chico Lanete and they're guarding him tightly dahil naka-2 tres na yung si Chico. Last second shot time for Petron Blaze here in quarter number 3. Susubukan din ang protektahan ng kanilang 14 na puntos na lamang. Lassiter, dribbling display, takes the 3. Doesn't hit it on the rebound. Lohorn gets it. Tenorio from 3/4 court. Hits the board and L.A. Tenorio showing signs of life at yun na nga, kung nakahawaan ng laziness kanina.
A finesse type of a player. Ito naman si Dior Lohorn, all pure power.
For more on these imports, punta tayo kay Riza Diaz.
Charlie, according to Elijah Millsap, sa mga nakita nga daw niya, yung baha, yung bakbakan sa Zamboanga, talagang nahabag daw ang puso niya, lalong-lalo na sa mga bata. So he asked his driver, si Kuya Bernie, kung paano siya makakatulong. So ayun, dinala siya sa White Cross Orphanage. He brought food, he played with the kids. At ang sabi nga niya, kahit hindi daw siya kilala ng mga bata, talagang genuinely masaya yung naging experience niya dahil nakatulong nga siya. Ang sabi niya, he's planning to do it again before he leaves. Truly is proving na kapag blessing, or nagiging blessing ka sa iba, talagang pagpapalain ka din. Charlie?
Thanks a lot, Riza. Elijah Millsap enjoying his stay dito. Aside from the fact you're winning almost all your ball games, you get a chance to help out here in the Philippines. And he comes from a very, very devout religious family partner. In fact, sila magkakapatid yung mga pangalan nila. Paul, John, and Abraham, mga kapatid niya. And they all play basketball. One of them in the NBA. Ito nga si Paul yung kuya niya. Heltebrand goes to Billy Mamaril. Balik kay Heltebrand. Willie Wilson after a reliable jumper from that range. And that doesn't go. Lutz gets that rebound but trips over his own teammate.
Looks like he got hurt there.
Oo nga, mukhang medyo natapilok yata ito si Lutz and Millsap on the drive. Bagsak si Billy Mamaril. And a foul is called. Offensive foul. So pangalawang personal ito si Junmar Fajardo yon. Pushing Billy Mamaril to the ground. Tight ball game. So may chance na naman makuha ng Ginebra ang lamang. L.A. Tenorio comes out to get it. Tenorio tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang laro dito. Into the lane, challenging the big guys. Junmar Fajardo providing some sort of a distraction on that play.
If you're L.A. Tenorio, you're the guy that's keeping everybody in Barangay Ginebra together. So if you're Coach Otto, you want him to be playing as many minutes as you can. But at the same time, you want to be able to pace him para meron pa siyang matitira pagdating sa dulo.
Ito yung harassment pa na ginagawa ng mga bantay niya.
Mas nakakapagod yan.
Tama. Tenorio into the lane. Kicks it over to Baracael. Driving the baseline to Mamaril. Agaw. Petron Blaze gets it back. 2 minutes gone by here in our second quarter. Still tied up. Millsap the baseline drive. Banggaan sila ni Baracael. It's gonna be a foul called on Marnel Baracael. Millsap will go to the line para sa dalawang free throws once again. And Millsap hasn't been getting his shots from the field, partner. He's been missing or he's been forced to kick it out to teammates. So he's had to have to shoot from the line in this ballgame.
6 out of 6 from the free throw line. Elijah Millsap spotless.
Mamaril to the bench. Dior Lohorn immediately reinserted. Pasok pa rin ang free throw nitong si Millsap. Lamang ng dalawang Petron. Si Baracael has been a steady performer para sa Barangay Ginebra coming off the bench. Pumapofte siya. Lanete mas maliit sa kanya. He's asking for that ball but decides to go the other way. Lohorn on the drive. Strong. Good challenge mula rito kay Junmar Fajardo. Pero may foul na tinawag. Pangatlo na ni Junmar yan, partner. Tatlo na si Doug Kramer, tatlo na rin si Junmar Fajardo.
Using his quickness, itong si Dior Lohorn able to figure out that Fajardo will not be able to keep up with him if he puts the ball on the floor.
Dior Lohorn started his college career in the USNCAA with Texas Tech. Doon din nag-aral si Mike Singletary ng Barako. Pero he finished with the University of San Francisco program and was the fastest player in their history to score 1,000 points, beating out some guy named Bill Russell.
Hindi naman basta-basta, no?
Oo. Diba? Wala masyado. 11 lang. something to bring sa NBA. Lux's jumper doesn't go. Rebound mula kay Wilson. Helterbrand on the run. Ganete. Iniistorbo yung pagdala ng bola. The switch. Arwin Santos trying to guard Helterbrand. Kagiwa now have the ball. Down to Baracael. The turn. Short jumper. It's short. Nakuha nito si Fajardo. Baracael swipes it away. Who's gonna pick it up? Lassiter gets it. Lumalaban pa rin si Helterbrand. Lassiter the pass to Lutz for the lay-in that misses. Pero put back ni Santos doesn't go. Hinawakan na ni Willie Wilson si Arwin Santos, and the action is picking up dito sa ating second quarter, partner.
So missed layups by Petron. Those were easy shots already. Could have been able to extend this lead. A lot of pushing, a lot of holding.
Kita mo yung big
dito
boy,
sa ating
dumayb,
second quarter.
Dumayb si Junmar. Nawala kay Lutz yung bola. Kala niya, di niya na-decide kung dadakdak ba sa o ili-layup niya. Kaya nawala ng bola sa kanya. But Santos is at the line for 2 free throws. And another thing we're always looking at, you look at Barangay Ginebra, you talk about LA Tenorio. Arwin Santos is having a splendid season himself para sa Petron Blaze Boosters. They've been talked about as among the leading contenders for most little.
I like he can pwede naman siya mag-MVP na mas madami pang mga numero gagawin niya, take a lot more shots, but he's thinking team first because a number of conferences na kaya nga naging Petron Novela dahil hindi pa nananalo ng championship ang Petron in a while. So he's taking the backseat in a sense that he's not looking for personal glory, he wants team glory.
Tama yun, mahal naman natin si Arwin Santos. He can score heavily para sa Petron. Kung kailangan, ginagawa naman niya eh. Pero in rhythm na lang, tries to do things in the flow of the game. Slick spot on the floor, bagsak itong si Mark Kagiwa, and he's checking himself. Titingnan niya kung buo pa yung katawan niya dun sa pagdulas niya. Slow, he hasn't gotten up yet right now. Let's watch it on the move. Naabangan niya yung pasa, pero yun, napasplit itong si Mark Kagiwa.
That didn't look good.
Oh, it looks like he feels something.
Mukhang dun sa kanyang tuhod.
Officials timeout called. At yun, chinecheck nga itong si team manager Al Francis Chua. Anong kondisyon ng kanyang...
Alam mo, yung suit ni Coach Al Francis, di ba yun din yung suit niya nung Tuesday? Swerte yung t-shirt niya yan.
Swerte siguro. Kaya nga, alam mo naman yung mga players natin kung ano-anong estilo ang ginagawa. Kung nakakuha ng panalo ang isang koponan wearing a certain piece of clothing or doing a certain routine during the day, they try to keep it up. And Kagiwa still hasn't gotten up. And we're talking to him.
He felt it. Nung naramdaman niya that looks like his right knee could have twisted. They're gonna check on him. Ito yun, pag labas niya, mag-isa lang siya eh. Ayan, dumulas. And then his right knee going the other way.
Yeah, medyo manggulo yun on that play. And never a treat to see things like that happen. But he's walking on his own power. Napakagandang senyalis niyan. On the way to the bench. So he'll have to sit for some evaluation.
And see kung kaya pa itong si Mark Kagiwa. And for Barangay Ginebra, how big is Mark Kagiwa? They need him to come back in this ball game.
Well, he's averaging 17.5 points a game, 6 rebounds, and more than 3 assists. So, pag mawala yan, ang laki nang mawawala dito sa Barangay Ginebra. Ito si Fajardo posting up the smaller import, goes in strong. And that's what Coach G wants from Fajardo every time. Pag nasa 50 siya, you gotta take advantage of that size.
Oh, he's big, especially against your Lowhorn. That's a good thing because tatlong foul na nga itong si The Kraken, Junmar Fajardo. You wanna try and pahirapan mo din yung Barangay Ginebra import.
Tenorio. Talagang dikit na dikit ang depensa kay LA Tenorio. They don't wanna get him going, but Helterbrand hits from the outside. It's a 3.
There's one thing with that injury of Mark Kagiwa, JJ Helterbrand, baka naman siya yung magsasabi, sige Mark, ako na bahala dito.
Pwede rin, diba? He's done it before. He's been an MVP in this league as well, just like Mark Kagiwa. Kabagnot, down to Fajardo once again. It's been working, past couple of plays. Up inside! Big man went to the small guy. Kabagnot gets fouled, and he'll go to the line for 2. Pangunang foul pala ni LA Tenorio yan. We see inside the ball game right now, Doms, itong si Kirby Raimundo. And this is a guy that, has the potential to produce para kay Coach Ato Agustin. And when he took a shot a while ago, nakita mo yung reaction ng fans ng Barangay Ginebra, anticipating that ball to go in para man tumaas yung kumpiyansa nito si Kirby na, a guy who's been battling injuries na rin sa past couple of conferences.
But you know that he can score when given the opportunity. Very dangerous.
Mintis ang pangalawang free throw ni Kabagnot. 5 lamang ng kanyang koponan. 7:05 remaining here in the first half. Lohorn. The feed to LA. Nowhere to go. Had to bring it out. Draws a foul from Alex Cabagnot. Cabagnot naman madali ang tinaas ang kanyang kamay para i-acknowledge yung foul na yon. Maraming player dito sa liga natin ayaw mag-acknowledge ng foul kahit kailan. Pero si Cabagnot, umamin agad doon.
The only time that you're gonna acknowledge the foul is if you're really trying to foul the guy. You're trying to prevent ang isang fast break.
Some changes in the lineup. Arwin Santos balik sa bench. Millsap comes back in. Nice namin pasalamatan ang aming mga radio partners. 90.7 Love Radio, 101.1 Yes FM, 96.3 Easy Rock, at ang DCSR 918 Sports Radio on the air for this ball game. Nico Ramos, yung nakaitim. Tapos yung isa, si Benji Santiago naman. And those are the guys you're gonna hear if you're listening to DZSR 918. Dito naman sa TV, ako si Charlie Cuna. Dominic ko yung kasama ko, Risa Diaz at courtside. Second quarter action, 6:53 remaining. Petron with a 5-point lead. And the Mark Kagiwa on the bench dahil nadulas siya kanina at mukhang may naramdaman dun sa kanang tuhod niya. So ina-assess pa nila yan. In the meantime, Lohorn challenging Fajardo. The pass is stolen. Millsap up ahead to Arwin Santos. He'll finish gently. Mukhang nawala pa sa kamay niya.
Mawala yun. But credit the defense of the Petron Blaze Boosters. That's what they've been known for all conference long. They're the #1 team in steals. That time forcing that turnover.
Raimundo. Here's Barakael. FU forwards. Nagtapos din sa play na yon. Santos at Barakael. No go on that offensive para sa Barangay Ginebra.
Petron forcing Barangay Ginebra to a shot that they're not comfortable with. Your Lohorn from the 3-point shot.
Alley-oop! Millsap goes to Fajardo. Nakatingin yung dalawang mama. Linab na lang yun. And Fajardo, no chance to slam that in, pero he gently kicks it off the glass.
Biggest lead of the ball game now, 9 points for Petron.
Ang Barangay Ginebra, once again, Doms, do or die na naman ito para sa kanila. And si Kagiwan din rin nagsabi, siya din rin nagbitaw na lagi na lang ganun. Ang hilig namin sa ganun. We like to do it the hard way, sinabi niya. And, well, it's great when you win, di ba? Pero nakakapagod din.
Nakakapagod din at napakahirap na mapupunta ka dun sa isang sitwasyon na ganyan. Even nasanay ka na dun, syempre, mas maganda yung nakakalamang ka. And talking about nakakalamang, Elijah Millsap already with 6 assists in the ball game.
And he hasn't been scoring heavily. Napansin nga natin, ang ganda ng coverage sa kanya nitong Barangay Ginebra. Ngunit, he's killing the other team in other ways, di ba? At maraming ang nadadala sa mesa itong si Elijah Millsap. Tenorio, once again, going underneath. Kicking out to Wilson, 17-foot jumper. It's short. Rebound, Millsap. Knocked out of bounds by L.A. Tenorio. A foul is called. Ito, meron tayong report tungkol kay Mark Kagiwa, Risa Diaz.
Charlie, sinundan ko si Mark Kagiwa sa dugout and frustration was all over his face. Ang sabi nga niya, pagaling pa lang yung kaliwa niyang tuhod. Itong kanan naman na nagka-aberya ngayon. Ang nangyari daw kasi inatula siya sa isang pasang spot dito sa floor. Kaya ang nangyari, or they are suspecting an MCL injury. As to his return to this ball game, mukhang malabo muna yan, Charlie.
That's disappointing news, I'm sure, sa lahat ng mga fans ng Barangay Ginebra nakikinig. Sapagkat he was playing an aggressive ball game, playing good defense. Ito na ang Petron trying to attack. Arwin Santos on that follow-up try gets fouled. Babalik siya sa linya para sa dalawang free throws. What a big blow for the cause of Barangay Ginebra, Dom, sapagkat nabanggit na nga natin, do or die ito. Against a powerful team like like Petron Blaze, you would need all your weapons.
Well, the good thing about Barangay Ginebra is there's always somebody there who is, aching to be able to get that opportunity to play big. You have guys there that can step up, that can score. Guys like Rico Meyerhofer, guys, the other guards, kapag titignan mo din, may mga gwardiya pa rin dyan. JJ Helterbrand, na injured tong si Mark Kagiwa, knocked down that 3-point shot.
Barangay, jumper from outside, wala yan. One and done para sa Barangay Ginebra. Rebound si Arwin, napahend to Kabagnot. They go to Laffiter in rhythm, taps and pops from 3. He's hit a lot of those, pero naswerte pa itong Barangay. That doesn't go in. Tenorio running in the lane. That floater, he gets the 2. Tenorio hasn't been given too much daylight in this ball game, pero he took advantage of it.
Well, Tenorio now understands that he needs to start scoring. He's been playing every single minute of this basketball game.
They go inside to Fajardo. Agaw ni Dior Lohorn. He anticipated that entry pass. Tenorio gusto atakin ng depensa habang di pa nakaset up. Challenging Fajardo. Looks at the referee. Looking for that foul. Petron's going the other way. Lefty layup. Lassiter. So a quick attempt on one end results in a miss. Tapos ayan na yung Petron. Dire-diretso na sa kabila. 10-point spread. Lamang ang Petron, 46-36.
Oh, good anticipation by Jumar Fajardo.
And he smiles. He was laughing. Goes all the way down. Brings it in for the jam. Kanina ginawa ni Lohorn sa kanya. And he returned the favor. 30-second timeout. Tinawag ni Coach Ato Agustin dahil 12 na ang lamang nitong Petron Blaze, 48-36. And on that steal, look at that. He's smiling as he's dribbling. He sees walang kalaban. That's a Kawasaki rousing fast break brought to us by Rouser 135 by Kawasaki. Rouse the rider. In you and itong si Fajardo showing us some ball handling skills, partner, the big man.
And that's the second time that nobody has gone down from Barangay Ginebra on a fast break. That's a cause of concern for the Barangay Ginebra Gin Kings.
Laman lang humabol sa play na yon. Kanina si Arwin Santos naman yung nakalibre dun sa layup niya. And pa lang tayo, 11 points, 5 rebounds na. At saka wala pang mintis ang Junmar Fajardo mula sa field partner. Powerful performance from the big guy.
In that first quarter, Barangay Ginebra was leading 25-24. But in the second quarter, itong Petron stepping it up on defense, scoring 11 off those turnover.
After from baba kay Lohorn. Lohorn wants to challenge the big man. Ito, may Fajardo na. Tumulong pa yung Arwin Santos. Supalpal sa taas. Bola na naman ng Petron.
It's going to be very difficult once Petron really is able to impose their presence down low dun sa kanilang depensa.
Tapos nababasa nga ni Elijah Millsap na talagang kailangan na umatake na siya to take advantage of this defense ng Barangay Ginebra not closing. And he gets another foul. He's at the line. But he'll have to wait kasi may timeout. Back at the Mall of Asia Arena kung saan ang Petron 12 lamang. At ito, Preston defensive stop of the game. Santos tsaka Fajardo ganging up on Dior Lohorn. That's brought to us by Preston Brake Fluid for superior braking action and safety. Siguradong nasa mabuti kang kamay. At may kwento tayo mula kay Risa Diaz about Junmar Fajardo.
Charlie, sabi lang ni Junmar, mahirap daw kayang maging matangkad, lalo na sa basketball, kasi talagang napakataas daw ng expectation. Kaya ang ginagawa daw niya talaga ay mag-improve bawat laro. Pero ito ang motivation niya. Gustong-gusto niya makarating sila sa semis hanggang sa finals dahil daw pag nagkataon, pauuwiin niya mula sa Cebu ang kanyang buong pamilya para makapanood sa kanya ng live. Charlie?
Motivation nun, ano?
Oo nga, okay na motivation yun, diba? Para nandito yung buong pamilya.
Pamilya mo.
Yeah, I'm sure you mentioned that, even if they're just within the country, pero nasa Cebu nga sila. At sa pagbalik sa action, a foul is called.
Just to go back to that report of Riza, napakahirap talaga na maging matangkad lalo na nagbabasketball ka. Yes, the expectations there. One time tinanong ko yan sa mga matatangkad, ano pakiramdam ng matangkad? Sinagot sa akin, hindi ko alam kasi never naman ako naging maliit eh.
Oh, diba?
So there's no perspective to be able to compare it to.
Wow, tinan mo sinong pinasok ni Coach G. Abanilla. Si Lakay is in the ball game. Danny Ildefonso seeing some action here in the first half with 2:27 remaining. Ellis gets 1 out of 2.
Danny I also with a new hairdo dito sa konferensyang ito.
Daming na ganyan, nag-change hairstyle. Kasi medyo matagal yung break in between conferences. Siguro medyo nabato, daming nagpalit ng kanilang mga hairstyle. Laffiter jumper. And that goes in. And what a time for him to hit his first 3-point shot. Kung kailan nagbe-break away na ng konti itong Petron.
Well, for Petron, really the difference in the second quarter is their defense. Now holding down Barangay Ginebra to just 27% from the field. They have 3 steals, and then they have yung turnover points and 6 fast break points for Petron.
Urbistondo, gusto sana bawiin yung 3. Wala yun. Pass to Ildefonso. Goes and bounces over to Urbistondo. The chase down from Santos, but a foul is called.
Check out the bench of Petron. Nung nangyari yun, hinabol ni Arwin Santos for that block. We'll see this replay. Arwin Santos with the extra effort, getting the block on top. But could have been a foul sa katawan. Then you look at the bench of Petron, really very active. And then pagkatapos nun, parang halos yung buong bench papunta kay Arwin, tutulungan siya para makatayo ulit.
Well, most of them were cheering for that block. A couple of them were disappointed that there was a foul called. At ito nga nasa linya, ito si Josh Urbistondo. You know, Urbistondo came over to this ball club para sa Barangay Ginebra Doms to provide firepower. Kasi nga, the fireball siya eh.
Right, papasok nung quarterfinals din yun, last conference. Josh Urbistondo, if there's one guy that can breathe fire into the offense of Barangay Ginebra, it's Josh Urbistondo.
Pwede siya. No? So they need him to get going. They want more guard help. Dahil nga si Kagiwa nakaupo na, doubtful to come back in this ball game. So Urbistondo might be the guy. Could be Helter Branch, could be Urbistondo. They need some help.
The specialty of Josh Urbistondo, what is it? Stop and pop on the fast break. 3 points.
From 3, oo nga. Kabagnot nasa linya na naman, mintis ang kanyang unang free throw. 15-point lead for Petron. 1.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Ito si Alex Kabagnot. Prime-time player para sa Petron. 2 free throws ang kanyang pinasok. You know, remember early in the career nitong si Alex Kabagnot, meron pang konting rivalry yan with Mark Kagiwa. Kasi I think they played in the same high school. And,
always being compared to Mark Kagiwa.
Ito si Tenorio, the quick pass to Urbistondo, balik kay Tenorio. 4 seconds on that shot clock. Tenorio's drive, wala yan, and Santos secured that rebound. Ito na naman si Millsap, taking his time. Kabagnot kicks it over to Ildefonso, the jumper. Too strong para kay Danny I. Urbistondo. Had some daylight for the 3. Hesitated.
Another block from Arwin Santos.
At yun, di ba, when he finally decided to take it, andun na si Arwin Santos. Millsap on the way up. Natamaan na naman. Chris Ellis ang matatawagan ng kanyang personal dito sa ating second quarter. 40.1 seconds remaining. This has been Petron's quarter.
Charlie, Arwin Santos, 8 points, 8 rebounds. What a great game for Arwin Santos. And yun yung sinasabi natin, he's giving up those offensive opportunities just to be able to, help out on defense. Hindi niya hinahanap yung tira niya. Kapag nandyan, he's taking those shots, but he is not forcing any of the shots.
Barangay Ginebra trying to catch up here. It's an 18-point lead para sa Petron. Pito sa ilalim, itong si Danny Ildefonso caught bumping against Dior Lohorn. Ito just a while ago, the pass inside. That's a Thunder drive. It's magandang pasa brought to us by Photon. Empower your business. And Dior Lohorn nagmintis pa ng kanyang free throw partner. So things shooting-wise really going sour para sa Barangay Ginebra dito sa ating second quarter. They were up by 1 at the end of the first.
A total turnaround here in the second quarter for Petron. We've been talking about it. There are additional guys on that coaching staff definitely helping yung defensive effort ng Petron and changing how this team feels about each other.
Kaya tinatanong nga natin sa umpisa ng ating coverage, Petron novela. Medyo yung mga storya, medyo madrama-drama ng konti at the start of the season till the second conference. Pero ngayon, with that jump shot ni Kabagnot, it's a 19-point lead. There might be a happy ending at the end of that Petron novela. Pero Urbistondo, gaya na sinabi mo, partner, yan na.
Specialty of the house for Josh Urbistondo.
Last second shot. And si Kabagnot has hit several of those in his career. Pero mintis yan sa pag-umpisa ng ating final quarter. Chris Lutz to Lassiter. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They go to Millsap. Millsap inside to Doug Kramer. Goes up strong. Dylan Ababu is in the ball game and he commits his first personal.
Good look by Elijah Millsap. Not forcing that time around. Elijah Millsap has already a total of 8 turnovers. Though may 10 siyang assist, meron pa rin siyang mga pagkakataon na nagkakamali.
Well, he's been the primary ball handler in the half-court offense para rito sa Petron Blaze. 1 out of 2 once again para kay Doug Kramer. The lead is 15. Let's see kung kayang sakyan ng Ginebra ang kanilang momentum dito sa ating fourth quarter. Helterbrand. Here's Tenorio, he checks the clock. The drive. Eluding the defense, L.A. Tenorio, an extra hop partner to get free.
19 points now for L.A. Tenorio. In that third quarter, there was a 17-2 run for Barangay Ginebra. Then Petron making a run of their own. Also, itong si Chico Lanete, nakadalawang 3-point siya in that third quarter.
Doug Kramer left open from 16. It bounces out. Ito ng Barangay Ginebra. 13 kanilang hinahabol. L.A. Tenorio may tangan ng bola. He's played most of this ball game. He takes that 3. Masyado malakas. But he tracks down his own rebound. Almost gets it, partner, but loses it to Lanete. Lanete pushing it to Lassiter. He eludes the defense. The lay-in para kay Marcio.
And you can feel and see that L.A. Tenorio a little bit winded dito sa simula ng ating fourth quarter.
Chris Ellis with the ball. Goes down to Lowhorn. They haven't been going there much dito sa ating second half. Lowhorn on the move. Gets the contact mula kay Doug Kramer. That's a personal on Doug. That's his fourth personal. Let's turn it over to Riza Diaz.
Charlie, napuri ng bench ang players ng Barangay Ginebra pagbalik nila sa bench for the energy that they showed. At ganoon din para dito kay Dior Lowhorn. Ang paalala lang sa kanila, markahan na yung mga snipers ng Petron dahil they've done enough at lagyan na ng X-mark itong si Chico Lanete. Ang sabi ni Coach Al Francis Chua, never say die tayo, so wag tayong mamamatay dito sa fourth. Again, kapag nga may sense of urgency, parang mas magaling pa daw sila. Charlie?
Good hook shot mula rito kay Dior Lowhorn. You can see he may be laboring under that back pain na sinabi nga niya, pero pukpok pa rin ang pukpok. Looks like yung sinabi ni Coach Al kanina na, kung ayaw nyo, kung tamad kayo, umuwi na kayo, mukhang nag-work naman yung motivation niya.
But Petron still able to find that gap dun sa depensa ng Barangay Ginebra. So even if Barangay Ginebra is able to make a run, may pang-counter punch itong Petron Blaze Boosters. Junmar Fajardo now was able to rest. He is fresh again here in the fourth quarter, doing damage once again.
Mintis ang kanyang unang free throw. Chris Ellis was called for that personal. That was his 5th. Kaya naman pinalitan sa agad ni Coach Ato. Pasok si Baracael. Upo muna si Air Force Ellis. And Ellis, what a contrast dun sa huling laro nila, Doms. 2 points pa lang si Ellis in this ball game after getting 19 against Talk and Text.
Well, 22 minutes of action for Chris Ellis, but not the same impact as he had nung Talk and Text.
1 out of 2 for the big man, Fajardo. 87-73. Ababu hits the deck. That's a foul.
That's number 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Hindi man nangaran yan. Para kay Junmar Fajardo. He had 3 early ones sa first half. 9:43 remaining in this ball game. Lowhorn will make his move to try to challenge the defense of Fajardo. Hindi na lumaban masyado si Junmar.
That forces Coach Gia Banilla to call on Doug Kramer. Probably will come in para dito kay Junmar Fajardo.
And Doug's got 4 personals of his own. Inside pass to Fajardo. Can he pick it up? No, it's Helterbrand na nakakuha niyan. Eluding the defense of Lutz. There's a foul. Nahawakan itong si Helterbrand. Di pa nila narinig yung unang pito. Fajardo will troop to the bench. Kramer ang kanyang kapalit. Ellis is still in the ball game despite the 5 personals. Urbistondo makes his move. Drives to the lane for the lay-in, and Lowhorn on the second chance.
They're going to need all that extra effort that they can give dito sa fourth quarter. 10-point lead, but the crowd is alive. Oh, what a move. Oh, sorry, miss.
Pero Doug Kramer, kung si Lowhorn lumalaban sa kabila, si Kramer naman, minamatch yung energy na yan. Getting that miss of Chris Lutz, which we thought was about to go in. Balik sa linya si Doug Kramer. Arwin Santos comes into the lineup once again. Chris Lutz troops back to the bench. And he misses the second one once again. So 3 trips to the line here in the second half. 1 out of 2 each time para kay Doug.
11-point lead still for the Petron Blaze Boosters. You know, Urbistondo has gotten a little bit going dito sa ating laro. Again, finding Helterbrand in the corner, but this time, Helterbrand knocking that 3-point shot down.
The lead is down to just 8. 8 minutes and 32 natitira sa ating fourth quarter. Millsap. Gustong drumay, binangga ni Urbistondo. Personal on Josh. Wala pa sa penalty yung magkabilang koponan. Millsap directing the offense. Pinapapunta si Arwin Santos sa may kaliwa. And Millsap decides to take a jumper and miss. Lowhorn with the rebound. At hindi nagmadali ang Barangay Ginebra. But Urbistondo unleashes from 3. Offensive rebound from Ellis. He took that quick, very early in the shot clock, Doms.
But that's what he does. But if he makes them, di ba, what a game changer naman yung mga tirang ganun ni Urbistondo.
Kick out to Barakael. Nilapit niya ng konti. Ang kanyang one-hander goes in. It's down to just a 6-point lead para sa Petron Blaze. Barangay Ginebra for... Follow NCAA and PBA like never before. Get real-time updates straight from your phone with Pinoy Hoops. Be the ultimate Hoops fan and follow your favorite teams and players. Now available for Android in the Google Play Store and iOS. At sa pagbalik natin sa action, Dom's turnover para sa Petron Blaze. Ito na naman ang Ginebra.
Credit the defense of Barangay Ginebra extending onto that pass of Petron.
Urbistondo drives inside. Layup na wala. Lowhorn try to clean it up but he misses. Millsap, hindi nakita si Arwin Santos up ahead. Laffiter will challenge. He gets hit on top of the head. Itong si Helterbrand matatawagan ng personal at si Laffiter naman ang susubukin nila mula sa 4.5 meter line.
Urbistondo being aggressive now that LA Tenorio is resting on the bench for Barangay Ginebra before that final push.
Marshall hits the first free throw. Let's turn it over to Risa Diaz once again.
Charlie, and Petron's past games, they've been winning by big margins. Kaya nga yung dikit, ang sabi ni Coach G. Abanilla, this is the competition that we want. It will build our character and we need this. Kaya wala na masyadong game adjustment. Ang sabi lang niya, you guys would have to be mentally tough. Charlie?
If you look at that 8-game run of the Petron Blaze Boosters, yung dumikit talaga yung Alaska Aces, that final game of the eliminations. So that's what Coach G. Abanilla is looking for, you know, tight games because that will build your character. Yun ang kakailanganin mo later on.
3-point shot. Barakael shoots it over Arwin Santos. 4 na lang ang lamang ng Petron Blaze Boosters. And sabi nga ni Riza, wala nang adjustments to make. You know what to do. You've gone through some wins, 8 straight. Tingnan natin kung anong reaction in a close game. Millsap passes to Arwin, 8-foot jumper. Too strong, rebound, Lowhorn.
That was a good pass and a good shot, just not able to knock that down. 3-point shooting of Barangay Ginebra is what's helped them come back in this ballgame now, only down by 1.
Hard to believe. Pero Barangay Ginebra, well, they've done it time and again, Doms. 25-point lead in the third quarter. Hinabol nila, isa na lang ang kanilang hinahabol ngayon.
This is that storm that Coach G. Abanilla was talking about.
Napakalakas nitong storm na to. Super typhoon ang nangyayari. Partner, dahil yun na nga, ang laki-laki na ng lamang ng Petron kani-kanina lang. And you know, they're making this run. And LA Tenorio is on that bench getting some rest, recuperating from almost playing the entire first 3 quarters. And he's checking in right now as we see Arwin hit that first free throw para mabigyan ng konting espasyo naman yung mga scores.
Barangay Ginebra going really small with Tenorio, Urbistondo, and Helterbrand, and even Barakael at the 4 spot.
Exactly. Medyo small lineup. Lowhorn will have to do a lot of work underneath. 3-point lead para sa Petron. Etong Barangay Ginebra approaching the halfway mark ng ating fourth and final quarter. Urbistondo, the pass inside to Lowhorn. He jumps it in!
Great recognition by Urbistondo. Passing up that shot, instead giving that assist for the dunk.
And Lohorn had some words para kay Doug Kramer pagkatapos ng dak-dak na yon. Lassiter, sumagot! Tres naman ang kanyang binato. Suddenly, it's a slugfest. Diba? Kanina, medyo relax-relax na yung laro. Eto si Urbistondo to the basket. He babied that shot. Arwin Santos clears. Si Lassiter, kanina pa hihingi yung bola. Hindi binigay ni Millsap. To the cutting Kabagnot. Off the glass, wala. Rebound, Lohorn once again. And he sticks those elbows out to make sure nobody comes near.
Now is LA Tenorio time.
Kapagpahinga na yan. Tenorio in the lane. Loses the dribble. Labas kay Barakael. Tight guarding from Millsap. Alam niya. Barakael can hit that three. 4 seconds to go on that shot clock. Tenorio's got to put it up. Back to the basket shot. No chance up ahead to Arwin Santos, who will get this too.
They need the timeout. Barangay Ginebra looks tired after that.
Si Dior Lohorn ng Barangay Ginebra doing work inside. 11 rebounds in the game. This was one of them. A power rebound brought to us by Rexona Men with a 50% more long-lasting protection, so you can do more.
31 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists for Dior Lohorn. Pagdating naman dito kay Elijah Millsap, triple-double already. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists.
Pero malapit na mag-quadruple-double yan, partner. He's got 9 turnovers as well in this game. Urbistondo, pinahihirapan ni Millsap. The pass to Lohorn. Thought about the three. He took it. Bounces out. Might not have been the shot they wanted there, but he was open. Eto si Kabagnot. Gusto pumunta kay Fajardo na nakasil na dyan sa ilalim. Easy two.
What a great play by Petron. They see that Lohorn is tired, and then all of a sudden, sinil siya ni Junmar Fajardo really deep. Easy two.
Balik sa walo. Ang lamang ng Petron. Was down to 1 just a while ago. Helter Brand. Tenorio fifth. Try to pass it in. Yan na naman si Fajardo on the run. Arwin Santos took Millsap trailing. He'll try to get that layup. Mintis yan. Pero na-foul itong si Elijah Millsap, who, as Dom said earlier, has a triple-double in this ball game. Getting most of his points from the free throw line.
16 out of 17. Make that 17 out of 18 for Millsap.
Yung kagandahan kasi dyan para sa Petron, ang dami talagang mga pwedeng gamitin as weapons on the offensive end.
And that's why also Barangay Ginebra looking a little bit more tired than the Petron Blaze Boosters.
Well, they did have to come back from a 25-point deficit, partner, to cut it to 1. They may have spent a lot of energy, maybe too much dun sa run na yun. Pero 3:44 natitira. 10-point lead para sa Petron. Helter Brand, 4 seconds to go. And what Petron have done, Doms, in these past few plays, has played lockdown defense, forcing Barangay Ginebra to go deep into that shot clock.
And plus, one-on-one na. They're not able to move that basketball. Tenorio and Dior Lohorn still trying to figure out what they need to do on offense. Because sometimes LA wants to go pick and roll and Lohorn wants to post up. Pagdating naman kanina, Tenorio wanted to post up Dior Lohorn.
They gotta get it together soon. 3 minutes and 20 remaining. Eto si Urbistondo. He's been a spark plug dito para sa Barangay Ginebra in that great run from 25 points. Now Tenorio, drive. Foul ito si Junmar Fajardo.
And that's it for Fajardo. Fajardo, great game. 20 points in 26 minutes para kay Fajardo and 8 rebounds.
Talagang pinakita niya kung ginamit niya yung kanyang size dito sa laro na to. He was given the opportunities by his teammates, setting him up for easy baskets. Meron pa siyang fast break jam kanina. Pass goes to Lohorn. They need points in a jiffy. Urbistondo 3. Basok yan! Para kay Josh Urbistondo.
Keeping Barangay Ginebra's hopes alive.
Kabagnot. Hanap ng kakampi. No one's coming to approach him, so he takes it in. They swing it over to Millsap. 6 seconds on that shot clock. Off balance to Millsap. It rolls out. Arwin trying to keep it alive. Pero Tenorio nakakuha ng rebound. Tenorio Contact, tried to throw it to Urbistondo, but Lassiter was there. Lassiter will pass to Arwin. Hinawakan na ni JJ Hildebrand to stop a possible 3-point play. Free throws ang ibibigay kay Arwin Santos. They're protecting a 7-point lead, Petron.
Marshall Lassiter able to anticipate what LA Tenorio wanted to do. Drive to the gut of the defense and then kick it out. But Lassiter was right there to pick that pass.
Ang malaking bagay rin kung bakit nakahabol din ang Ginebra dito sa second half. Partner yung free throws ng Petron. They've been missing. On many occasions, just 1 out of 2 from the line. Sunod-sunod itong Petron. So, those missed free throws gave Ginebra a chance to come closer. So, si Urbistondo once again. He sees the lane open, kicks it to Hildebrand. He hit one earlier. Wala yun. Tenorio gets the rebound. And he gets hit from behind. Elijah Millsap, matatawagan ng personal. That's going to be his fourth. Free throws para kay LA Tenorio dahil penalty situation na yung magkabilang papunan.
Just an 8-point lead for the Petron Blaze Boosters. Tenorio could cut it to 6. Still a lot of time para sa Barangay Ginebra. Need to make some stops after this free throw.
Pero Doms, talagang walang kamatayan talaga. Yung never say die spirit ng Barangay Ginebra, you have to commend that. Down by 25, they look lost somewhere in the third quarter. Made it all the way to cut it down to just 1. Pero ngayon, 7 ang kanilang hinahabol, approaching the 2-minute mark. 2-minute warning, malapit na. Arwin Santos, balik kay Millsap. No need to rush, and Petron, the miss, Doug Kramer tries to tip it in, gets it right back and brings it out. Butik na maagaw ni Josh Urbistondo at niyakap na lang siya ni Junmar.
Good effort para kay Doug Kramer keeping that ball alive. Well, the referees will have to check our replay to see kung kanino mapupunta yung bola. Doug Kramer, 8 points, 7 rebounds.
Steady numbers. That's more or less what he's been doing, especially sa rebounding. Dun sa talaga nakakatulong. Not really relied upon the score. And habang chinek ng mga referees, ginamit ng oportunidad ng mga koponan to have a little huddle. Strategize for the last 152. Timeout is called by Petron. Magbabalik kami.
Well, this is that play. Urbistondo clearly getting that tap out. So now, more important for Barangay Ginebra, they need to make this one big stop. They're only down by 7 points. 1 minute 52 left. You know, make that stop and then get a good shot up. Pagdating sa kabila, maybe a 3-point play or maybe even a 3-point shot.
When it comes to Coach Ato Agustin, you know, you just gotta keep pushing your boys.
Okay? Spot up tayo.
They look a little bit tired, but you know what? 1 minute and 52 left. Bigay mo na talaga lahat. Whatever you can pull out of yourself, ibigay mo na.
Well, this could be the last 152 for the season para sa Barangay Ginebra. You know, earlier today, Rain or Shine and Global Port went at it. Bakbakan talaga nangyari. Just a 2-point victory para sa Rain or Shine. It was a 5. That was naka-last 3-point shot, last second 3-point shot si Markeith Cummings. So valiant stand put up by Global Port, but not enough to overcome Rain or Shine. So Rain or Shine joins Meralco in the semis cast. Of course, San Mig tsaka Alaska will go at it again tomorrow. Dito rin sa Mall of Asia Arena yan at 7. So ito, 152 on the clock. Bola ng Petron Blaze. Arwin Santos inbounds to Cabagnot. Cabagnot makes his move. In the lane, yung kanyang tira wala yan. Rebound, Lowhorn grabs it.
That's the stop that they wanted.
Ayan nakitenorio ng bola. They've got to hurry a bit. Urbistondo. One of his better ball games para sa Barangay Ginebra this conference. Hildebrand swings to Barakel. He's open from 3. Tira niya was short and Doug Kramer nakakuha ng rebound. Lassiter, hinihingi na naman yung bola. He always runs ahead of everyone else.
Wisely setting it up. Itong Petron Blaze, they understand that the time is on their side. Waste more time. and make it a lot more difficult for Barangay Ginebra.
Here's Millsap on that drive. He's hardly done that. Hit baskets from the field dito sa ating laro. Mostly free throws.
Look at that play. 3 guys from Petron still trying to get that loose ball.
Still hustling. Itong Petron Blaze. 48 seconds to go. 7 points ang lamang nitong Petron. Kramer takes that shot. From the left side, wala. Lassiter's put back. No. Arwin Santos sinubukan pa makuha yun, but he taps it outside. Ball will be with Ginebra, pero 36.9 na lang ang natitira on that game clock.
Still possible. A couple of big shots para dito sa Barangay Ginebra. You know, one big 3-point shot could change things.
So tumawag nga ng timeout. Barangay Ginebra. Gusto sana natin pakinggan kung anong strategy ang gagawin ni Coach Ato Agustin.
Yeah. So, okay. LA. Okay? Mak, ikaw to.
30 lang.
Ito ha. Now. Back screen. Okay. Back screen. Okay, back screen tayo. Baka makalibre tayo rito. Okay? Now, down screen. Bigay natin.
Back screen.
Oo, back screen ka. This is you, yeah. Wait. Down screen lang tayo. Joss, go. Okay? Tapos, back screen tayo rito. Corner. Ito tayo. Okay? And then, change.
Well, there was a 30-second timeout call, pero minaximize ni Coach Ato Agustin yun. He wants a back screen for some shooters to pop out. Tingnan natin, Helterbrand gagawa ng inbound para sa Barangay. Hindi niya maipasok yung bola, partner. They burn a timeout. 30-second variety once again. Barangay and Lowhorn are talking who should have popped out. So usap-usap pa rin yung magkabilang koponan, of course.
Good decision that time for JJ Helterbrand to call that timeout.
Bukas, 7:15 p.m. Do or die. Yan, nakalagay dyan. Do or die. Mall of Asia Arena rin. Sunmig Coffee kontra Alaska Aces. Remember, Sunmig is at number 2 in the seedings. Tapos number 7 ang Alaska. Ngunit, Alaska forced a do or die, win or go home ball game. That's gonna be here tomorrow. Tingnan natin kung meron pa. Kasi yung dalawang ibang serye tinapos na ng higher seeds, Rain or Shine and Meralco. Petron wants to join them there. Para kailan tumanggap dito. Trying to make his move against Arwin Santos, taking a lot of time. The hook. Supalpal ni Arwin Santos, he swats it out. 30 seconds, sakto natitira. Baseline inbound, Helterbrand. To Urbiftondo, takes the quick 3. Almost goes in on the rebound. Lowhorn gets it, jumper. Wala na naman, Lassiter controls the board. And it looks like hindi na lalaban. No more fouls para sa Barangay Ginebra. Kabagnot, padribble-dribble na lang.
Barangay Ginebra, one thing we talked about is will they have enough gasoline to end this ball game? Napansin natin, nung bandang huli, naubusan na rin itong Barangay Ginebra.